ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا إنه من يهد الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا محمد عبده ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتون إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما إخوة الإيمان السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.
We give thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who has given us this opportunity to gather here today again, being the best day of the week, which is today Friday, the 10th of the month of Sha'awwal, year 1445 after the year of Nabiyyuna Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Wala quwwata illa billah. In continuation with our discussion concerning supplication, Ad-Duah, which it is the weapon of the believers. We have defined what supplications are, and we are on the point number 2, which we are discussing concerning SURUTU IJABATU Dua, the conditions of acceptance of supplication. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us in Qur'an Chapter 2, verse 186, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Bismillahir rahmanir rahim, wa bihi nasta'in, wa isa sa'alaka ibadi anni, fa inni qaribun, ujibu da'wata da'i idha da'ani, falyastajibu li wa liyu'minu bi la'allahum yarshudun. Sadaqallahul azim. Allah told Nabiyyuna Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that why is sa'alaka ibadi anni, whenever my servants, not servant, ibad are servants. That means every one of us, we are servant of what? Of Allah. So why didn't Allah say my children? Why didn't Allah say my son? Indicating that Allah doesn't have what? He doesn't have son. Because he called us what? Ibad. And he didn't refer to only one person. I didn't be say, why is that Sa'alaka Abdi? I didn't be Allah say my servant. We might be referring to whom? Nabiyyuna Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But not him. Ibadi, my servant. Whenever they asked about me from you, tell them that I'm closer to them. Fa'inni qaribun, I'm very close to them. Ujibu da'wata da'i idha da'ani. Whoever calls unto me, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I'm going to answer to his call. I'm going to answer to our call. But on one condition. فَلْيَسْتَجِيبُوا لِي وَلْيُؤْمِنُوا بِي. The conditional clause there is that they must call on me, I will heed to their call, but they must exercise patience and believe in me that I'm going to come to their aid. If they exercise patience, that means that la'allahum yarshudun, they will be rightly guided. So, if you are calling to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah has not given you what you are calling him for, and you are not exercising patience, that means you are not guided. Because he told us that after believing in him, we should exercise patience so that we can be rightly guided. If you are not patient, you go out of the fold of Allah and go and seek for another assistance from another deity. That is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said we should exercise patience. And the first condition we mentioned, under the condition of acceptance, number 1 is al-ikhlas, for us to be sincere with ourselves to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You should not have any reliance on any other deity other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You should not believe that any herbalist, you should not believe that any malam, you should not believe that any pastor, you should not believe any spiritual scholar or whatever can do anything for you other than what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala might have decreed upon you. That is what will surely come to pass. So believing in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is what we are referring to as what? At-Tawheed. So for your supplication to be answered, your Tawheed must be fair. Number 2, as-sabr. We must be patient. If we are not patient, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not answer our prayers. Because there are some prayers which we have defined that Allah will grant the acceptance of those prayers or those supplications in 3 stages. Number 1, what you are asking from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He might grant you in this world. Number 2, Allah might use it to prepare a place for you in Al-Jannah. Number 3, while you are even in this world, Allah might use it to shield you away from evils. So these are the 3 stages in which your supplication might be directed to from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We mentioned some ahadith. I mentioned some Anbiya'ullah. Nabiyina Zakaria alayhi salamullah. He was asking Allah, or he asked Allah that I want a progeny, and Allah gave him. It was so many years after the promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala before Allah granted his wife to be able to become pregnant. Nabiyina Musa alayhi salamullah, when he invoked unto Allah, Allah, I want you to destroy Pharaoh and all his disciples that are going against your wishes. Allah said, Ya Musa, qad IJABATU da'watukuma. I've answered your call. But what you are going to do for me is to go and be what? To go and be patient. Allah told Nabiyina Musa alayhi salamullah. In one riwayah they said it was after 7 years. In another riwayah they said it was after 40 years before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala now drowned Pharaoh. For Allah told him that I have heard your call and I'm going to grant it, but you have to go and be patient. The patience that Nabiyina Musa alayhi salamullah exercised, it wasn't between 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. It took a long period of time. So every one of us should be what? We should be patient. Number 3, for Allah to be accepting our prayer, we must do At-Tawbatu Nasuha, a sincere repentance. You must not seek for repentance now. After some time or in the midnight, you now go back to it. During the day, you now come back to it again. That's not a sincere repentance. An-nadamu ala ma fata, as Allah told us. Whatever you have asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive you upon, you must not go back to it again. That is what, and you should be regretting on why you have done it in the past. So that is what? At-Tawbatu an-Nasuha. Number 4, avoidance of haram. We dwell on this extensively 2 weeks ago. We brought some kissa that man taraka shay'an fil harami nalahu fil halal. Whoever leaves anything that is haram, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will replenish that thing for him in a what? In a lawful way. So, a lot of things that we are consuming, a lot of things that we are using as our utilities, majority of them, they are from haram source. How do you want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to answer our prayers? Throughout the Ramadan that we just completed last week, throughout that Ramadan, some people, their iftar and their sahur came from haram source. And that is why I keep telling some of us, those of you that used to have girlfriend amongst us, that used to have side chicks and side chickens, whatever they are giving you is haram. Not to talk of where you are working, that you are changing figures, that you are collecting bribe before you give people employment, that you have to go and sleep with the woman in your office before she got promotion. Whatever you derive from those kind of activities, they are haram, and there is no way you want to call Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will answer it. But if you continue to be committing sin and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is granting your wishes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is doing an istidraj for you. He's just giving you whatever you want so that your chastisement will be so severe. Because you can't be sinning. You can't be disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you ask him to be merciful with you. So any mercy you are getting from him is trying to multiply in manifolds. The chastisement is going to what? It's going to chastise that person. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to be providing for us in an halal way, not in a haram source. Saad bin Abi Waqas radiyallahu ta'ala anhu was a Sahabi of Nabiyyina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Anytime he called on to Allah, Allah used to answer his prayer. We have some of these companions and some of the tabi'un that they are what? IJABATU dua. That when they supplicate for you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used to grant their supplication immediately. And among them was Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas. And this Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas, he was among the Ashara Mubashirina bil Jannah. With them Abdurrahman ibn Auf. Among the 10 companions that were given certificate of Al-Jannah right from here, Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas was among them. So he was the one that now said this. When they asked him, the other companion asked him that, why is it that every time you ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to do something for you, or you supplicate for anybody, whatever you ask used to come to pass immediately? He now said, Marafat ila fa'mi lukmatan. I don't eat any morsel or any handful of anything that I need to eat. Marafatu ila fa'mi. I don't raise anything that I need to eat. I don't raise it up like this to put in my mouth to eat. No matter how little it is, lukmatan, a morsel. Illa, except wa anna a'lamu ayna muti'uha wa min ayna kharajat. Until I know from what source is that particular thing before I consume it. Do you understand? Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas said he will never eat anything, he will never drink anything, he will never use anything. Precisely, he will never consume anything to his mouth. That I want to eat this, I want to drink this, until he knows from which source it is. Brothers, me and you, let's evaluate ourselves now. All what we are eating, what we ate this morning, what was the source? The one we ate during Salah, what was the source? The one we used to observe our Ramadan, what was the source? And the one we have been eating all this while, what has been the source of what we are eating? You see some people, they will be making pranks or gesticulating that if what we desire is not available, the available now becomes the what? The desirability. So anything goes for anything. That if the halal is not there, haram becomes what? Haram becomes halal. Including some scholars, end-time scholars, so-called scholars. Because there are some of them, they are just alim. They are not ulama ul khair or ulama ul khairat. Those are the ones we call irresponsible malams. They just have the knowledge, but the consciousness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is nowhere to be found in them. They don't care. They will tell you, whatever you find, you should consume it. Then how do you want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our prayers, to accept our supplication? I read unto us the hadith of a particular villager that was coming, and he was covered with the dust. And Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam saw him. He was raising his hand unto Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, invoking unto Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But Allah never answered his prayer. Allah never answered his supplication. All the invocation that he has invoking unto Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all his effort has always been abortive. And Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam now said, wa malbasuhu aramu, wa mashrabuhu aramu, wa mat'amuhu aramu, fa aina yastajibu lahu. The clothes is wearing is haram, the source is haram. The food is drinking is haram. the food is eating is haram. Where is residing is haram. فَأَيْنَ يَسْتَجِبُ لَهُ. How will Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answer his prayer? You see some people, they marry halal wives and they even marry haram wives. You see some bosses, they will be sleeping with their driver's wife. They will send the driver on an errand so that he can have access to the wife. You see some malams, they are the one that did the child dedication of a daughter that a woman will send to him. Some will be sleeping with the mother and be sleeping with the daughter at the same time. All these things, they are signs of the end time, and we are seeing them, they are happening. They are not rhetorics. They are not tales by moonlight. They are happening. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala don't let us become a victim of these people. And may Allah not let our family become their victim. Because this is how it's going to continue at time al-Qiyamah. Ulama isu'i, they will continue to be existing. They are the ones that they go to cemetery to go and take something from the corpse inside the grave. They will bury the dead body together in the afternoon. And at night, they will go to the cemetery and go and take whatever they need, the part of the body. It is from their mouth that will be hearing that we can take what has become unused to replenish the part of what is what? What is still existing. What is no more in service, we can use it. We can take part of it to render assistance to what? To the one that is still in service. You can go and take something from the corpse inside the grave and use it to support somebody who is alive. Maybe they are looking for fame. They go and remove the tongue, they go and remove the mammary gland, they go and remove vital part of a corpse inside the grave in the midnight. They are not even scared. They are malams because they call them alpha. But we are not going to call them alpha, we are going to call them alpha. So having knowledge doesn't mean that you are the righteous person. It is the consciousness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Majority of this so-called malam, or this majority of the imam, the people that are lining up behind them, they will be inside the Jannah for so many years before the imam will even have opportunity to enter. Because it is we that we thought is a responsible person, that is why we asked him to be leading us to the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But in front of Allah is an irresponsible person. But we don't know, and we don't need to know, because Allah has told us, La tuzaku anfusakum huwa a'lamu biman ittaqa. You should not go and look for anybody's secret. So some man should be telling you, if the lawful items are no more available, the unlawful now become what? Becomes lawful for you. Don't follow all the malam saying this. Because if you follow them in this world, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will assemble you people together with them on the day of Qiyamah and will throw all of them together. Inshallah, none of us will be their victim. That is on haram. Number 5. Usnu zonni billah. To be cogitating. Al-usnu means to be thinking, to be cogitating to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sincerely. All whatever you should be thinking towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala should be what? Should be positive, indicating that we should be positive minded. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said He's not going to deal with us as far as Nabiuna Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is within us. وَمَا تُعَذِّبُهُمْ وَأَنْتَ فِيهِمْ. As far as you, Nabiuna Muhammad, is in their midst, I'm not going to deal with them. So, Nabiuna Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is no more here physically, but spiritually is what? He's still with us. The Quran He brought with us too, for us, is still there. His ahadiths are still there. And we have conscious malam that are upholding all these values. So, the body of Nabiuna Muhammad physically is not with us. But his rule spiritually is what? Is with us. So we should, and He has told us that we should always have what? Al-usnu son al-khairat. Good thinking, positive minded. So we should think good things about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah now said again, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Udi'ullaha wa antum muqinuna bil ijaba. You people should call Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you should be positive minded that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to do what? He's going to answer your ibadah. He's going to answer your dua. So don't be doubting that yes, he has asked us to call him. I don't know, maybe he's going to answer you. If you are having that kind of doubtful mind, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not answer your call. So that is one number 5 condition that we must observe if we are calling to Allah and wanting to answer our dua. Number 6, udurul qalbi or udurul qalb. Your heart, your mind must be well established with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala whenever you are calling him. This is the mistake majority of us used to do. You are at the point of calling Allah. You are there calling unto him, but your mind is far away from where you are. You will be calling Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you will be distracted with something. So if you are calling Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that total submissiveness should be there for Allah and Allah alone. You are the one that you are saying you are calling to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, your phone is beside you. And the phone rang and you pick the call. And you are still communicating to the person in your shop, telling them that this is where you put the conflict, this is where you put the premier soap, this is where you put the groundnut oil. They should go and check inside the warehouse, and you are there calling Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even the ordinary councillor from your area, can you be in front of, not to talk of local government chairman, the councillor from your ward that is representing you in local government, if he's in front of you, can you be doing that? Not talk of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is the supreme. In your places of work, your boss directly in front of you, you want to communicate with him. Will you be talking to your boss and still be communicating with someone else? You know your work will be in jeopardy because you lack respect for the boss. And who is your boss in front of the Sahabatul Kiram? Who is your boss in front of Nabiyyina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Who is your boss in front of the angels? Then who is your boss in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Hudurul qalb, our heart must be firmly established to what we are doing in front of Allah, including our prayers, not only the supplication. Nabiyyina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us this. This one is Hadith Qudsi, is directly between him and whom? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not what Angel Gabriel brought to him. So he spoke to Allah directly, and among what he spoke to Allah is what we want to read. Nabi Muhammad said, Allahu yaqul. Allah said, Anna inda zanni abdi wa anna ma'u aysu yaskuruni. He said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is with me directly. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told me, Anna ma'a zanni abdi. I'm directly with my servant. Whenever my servant is cogitating about me, is thinking about me, is doing tilawatul Qur'an. You are the one doing tilawatul Qur'an on your prayer mat, and your TV is open, is on. Your TV is on, and you are by the side watching African Magic. You are the one that your radio is on. You are listening to CNN News. You are the one that know the time that they are bombing Gaza, and you are reciting Qur'an. You are doing tilawatul Qur'an. Your mind has become what? Divided. So the hudurul qalbu is not there. So the Hadith Qudsi of Nabiyyina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam will not work for you, because anna inda sunni abdi, my servant that is calling me sincerely, you are not going to be among them, or you are not among them. Wa anna ma'u aysu yaskuruni, and me, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, will always be with him whenever he is calling me. That is if you are not distracted. So whoever is distracted in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not get the answer to his call. So you must concentrate fully. It's just like the Nigerian army. That I said there is no 99.999999 loyalty. Your loyalty to the Nigerian army must be what? Must be 100. You know you can approximate 99.999 to 100. That one is not in their dictionary. It has to be 100%. So your concentration when you are calling Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala must be 100%. You must not be distracted with anything. That is why You must have a reservative area where you be calling Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in your house. Maybe you want to do tahajjud, you want to do qiyamul layl. You must have a dedicated area that even your children will be conscious of that particular area. You must have it. To the extent that we must have a particular clothes that we can be wearing. For what? For our dua. There are a lot of attachments to the acceptance of our supplication. There are a lot, which we are going to be talking about one after the other. Even the issue of raising hand like this. Even the issue of using our hand after raising it to rub onto our face or rub onto our body, we are going to discuss it. The one we used to do, me and you. Is it acceptable? Did Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did that if sincerely we are following him? The Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to have a special cloth for dua. We are going to get it. So Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Allah told him directly, no any intermediary, bila wasita, that me, Allah, I will directly be relating with my servant whenever he's calling me. So whenever you are calling Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, take all side distractions away from you. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to answer our call. Number 7, part of the lessons we need to learn from the state of calling unto Allah and for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our prayer. Number 7, adabu ittida'i fi dua, exceeding boundaries, exceeding the limit points. Exceeding the limit points. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us that whenever you are calling, call unto me and believe in me. But as you are calling Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you still have another belief, or you are in a state of doubt. That means Allah will not grant your wishes. Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that Allah told him that id'ullaha wa antum muqinuna bil ijaba, aw id'ullaha tadarruan wa ufiyatan. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one that said this. It's ayat Qur'an, not Nabi Muhammad. Id'ullaha tadarruan wa ufiyatan, inna Allah la yuhibbul mu'tadin. For you to be extravagant in your act of worship, not only in terms of money, that you are spending money lavishly. While you are doing your askar, you can also be extravagant. You can cross the boundary. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not listen to the call of whoever goes out of the boundary. And how? How do you go out of the boundary of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? We are asked to call Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bukratan wa asila. Call Allah in the morning and call Allah in the evening. Bukra means morning. Asila means evening. Does it mean that in the afternoon we not call on to him? Allah had already told Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that our Khamsu Salawat, all of them together will be 17 numbers. You now say Allah give you opportunity, you have a very good health. You are now going to observe what? You are going to observe 20. That is ittida. You have crossed the boundary. So whatever you do, after what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks you to do, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not accept it. Are we getting it? So for you to cross the boundary of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in terms of ibadah, in terms of askar, whatever you do that is supplement, like in engineering now, or in project management we say gold plating. You have a scope of work that you have to build a 3-bedroom. Just 3 bedrooms, and all these 3 bedrooms should be what? Should be ensuite. Each one of them should have their toilet. And you're going to have a visitor's toilet, making 4 toilets in that house, but 3 bedrooms. And I say there are other spaces, available space. Let me help. But it wasn't part of your original scope. That is what they call gold plating. So if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Salatul Maghrib should be 3. Don't say yes, me I'm from the Gaza state. I have very good health. I can do 4. You have crossed the boundary. That tree that is inside that forest, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wishes, He might not even take it from you. Because He has not promised you that He has even accepted it. The tree that He asks you to observe, now you are now gold plating it. Because in a contract, if you gold plated any activity in the project, nobody will pay you because it wasn't original. And there wasn't any revision between you and your stakeholder that engage you in the work. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that Inna Allah la yuhibbu kulla mu'tadin. All those that used to cross the boundary, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not be interested in them and is not going to be interested in their work. How will you be happy on the day of Qiyamah? You now get there, you now meet your account blank. After suffering in this world for the ibadah. Nabiuna Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam used to observe this Qiyamul Layl that I used to call the Ad-Duah. The night prayer that I used to observe, it used to be 11, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and 1. Another riwayah said it's 13, but that of 11 is more in weight, more heavier in weight than that of what? The 13. But if you start from night, the first part of the night, to the later part of the dawn, or to the early part of the dawn, not later, to the early part of the dawn before Salatul Subhi. That is when Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam will observe these 11 rak'at. And we start from Suratu Baqarah, Ali Imran, Nisa'i, An'am, Ahrafu, Anfal, Tawbah, like that, Yunus. If we start like that, can me and you do that? To the extent that his leg will become swollen. One very day, Sayyidatuna Aisha now told him that, Ya Muhammad, why are you doing all this? Why are you punishing yourself? As your Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala now told you, لِيَغْفِرَ اللَّهُ لَكَ مَنْ تَقَدَّمَ وَمَنْ تَأَخَّرَ وَيُتِيمَ نِعْمَتَهُ عَلَيْكَ. As your Lord not told you that He has forgiven you the sins you have committed in the past. And what are the sins that Nabi Muhammad committed? Who are ma'zoom? He was a protected person. All the Anbiya'ullah, they are ma'zoomun. They have divine immunity for them not to go what? Not to commit atrocity. He said Allah has forgiven you. Man taqaddama wa man ta'akhara, and one you are going to commit tomorrow that you have not even seen the tomorrow. Shebi your Lord has told you. Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told Sayyidatuna Aisha radiyallahu ta'ala anha that afalam akun abdan shakura. Don't you want me to be among the servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that will always be grateful? Do you want me to be an ungrateful element? The way majority of us we are grateful to our benefactors. Majority of us are ungrateful to our parents that even drive us to this world. Not talk of the malam that taught you Ali Batasa, that showed you the Hidayah, that told you that don't follow this path. Your spiritual father, your spiritual malam, your spiritual scholar. How many of you ever remember the malam that taught you Suratul Fatiha? And you are here where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed you. He has taken you to a certain level, and you are forgetting that Allah ta'ala the insanu. You forgot your teacher that taught you in primary school. And you, Allah has blessed you today. See, their life is still the way you left them 25 years ago. Nabi Muhammad, despite his status, he said, Afalam akun abdan shakura. You that did not even remember your parents, how will you remember your malam that taught you Quran? How will you even remember that Omata bini biku bini tanto tonto kuto? That they just gave birth to you. It was community service that render service that spend their money on you to get where you are. You are not paying back. The way majority of our senators and our House of Representative members that claim to be representing our constituency, they are only representing themselves, representing their wife and children, and representing their pocket. But inna rabbaka labil mirsad. Because I didn't mean they are representing us sincerely. We shouldn't have found ourselves in the state of quagmire that we are now. Nigeria is a blessed town. Nigeria is a blessed nation. Nigeria is a blessed country, and Allah gave us every good thing that I can give to any nation. But unfortunately, we have unfortunate leaders. They are the ones that Allah has placed in the arms of affairs. As we are talking on Friday like this, some of them will not even go because they don't have time, and they are Muslims. And they are the first set of people that will be crying around Kaaba. And they are the ones that go to Umrah every month, and their gateman, they are not paying him his salary. The driver served them, he served their wife, he served their children. The driver is still serving their grandchildren. The driver has not achieved anything from them other than the salary. It is the driver that will go and drop their grandchildren at the airport and they go and study, become doctor, become engineer, become whatever. It's the one that will receive them. They have not had any positive impact in the driver's life. Are they shakur? Are they mushakur lillahi? Are they grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Majority of them are accidental opportunists, but they are not giving back to the society what Allah has given them. But it's not a problem. It's not a problem. All of us, we are going to meet in front of Allah. Why am I saying all this? We should be grateful to Allah. You that Allah single-handedly raised you out from your family. Maybe you are the last one of the family. The 5-7 people in front of you. Didn't they go to school the way you also went to school? Your father that did not buy a spoke of bicycle, a spoke on a bicycle tire, and you are now building houses, you are dashing people. Wasn't your father, didn't he also work yesterday? Does it mean that you are more sensible, you are more intelligent than your father to be able to make what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you? Your father that went to Ghana, that went to Ivory Coast, that toured all the African countries, at the end of the day, didn't buy anything. And you are inside that you are inside under bridge, as you are sending, Allah bless it for you. You are building houses like beds, up and down. And at the end of the day, if they even ask you 5 naira inside masjid, they say, Kai, ba mo de kudi ano. At the end of the day, but that is amu kudi ano kuma ba. Because innal insana qatura. What we are saying, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, my servant, who is going out of the boundary that I have limited them to, me Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not accept any act of ibadah like that. So those of you that used to call a particular name of a particular sheikh while you are doing your ibadah, Allah will not answer your prayer. He will not answer your supplication. And this hadith that they used to say, that Nabiuna Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Tawassalu bijahi fa inna jahi inda Allahi azam, is a fabricated hadith. Who are hadithun da'if? That Nabiuna Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, use my honor to be saying bijahi Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's not part of sunnah. We are telling you that using Nabiuna Muhammad as a stepping stone to Allah is not it. Then why will you not be mentioning the name of Sheikh? The Sheikh that maybe you yourself, your level of spirituality is more than him in sight of Allah. It's like somebody who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given first class. You came out after suffering, or you are a genius. You came out with first class from university, from polytechnic or whatever. But Allah has not given you a good job. Somebody who came out with pass, that was about to be withdrawn, to be sent away from university or polytechnic. He now has a good job. Coincidentally, Allah bless you. You are not using the honor that Allah has done for that one. And you don't know, maybe it's in a crude way or crooked way that you got that. And now say Allah, Bijay Azza that has pass. And you have, then you are not appreciating the first class Allah has given you. Then Allah will do what? He will take you back to pass. So also in the spiritual realm, using some people's name to invoke unto Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is part of mu'tad. Use the good thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has done for you. Allah, you are the one that blessed Nabiuna Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What are you using to ask him? The blessing, not because of Nabiuna Muhammad. Nabiuna Muhammad was an ordinary person, but a unique one. They gave birth to him. Amina gave birth to him. Even his mother, his father, they are kuffar. And those of you that will say, because of the honor you have done to my parents, can Nabiuna Muhammad say because of the honor Allah did for his parents? Can Nabiuna Ibrahim, his father Azara, can he tell Allah that Nabiuna Ibrahim even want to ask Allah to forgive his father? Allah said, if you even ask for forgiveness for 70 times, I will not going to forgive him. It's in SURUTU. Can Nabiuna Ibrahim say, Allah, because of my father, forgive me, do this for me? We are telling you, use the honor of Allah. Allah, because of the blessing. Don't use Kaaba. The blessing associated to Kaaba is what you should use. Baitul Atiq. The honor that is there at Sidratul Muntaha. The honor that is there in Baitul Mahmud. The honor associated to the masjid of Nabiuna Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The honor that is associated to Masjid al-Aqsa. Not the masjid. The masjid is just a block now. That Kaaba that you are seeing in decades, they do structural adjustment or renovation to it. I told us how foundation of Kaaba, how it was. They used 5 different rocks to build that Kaaba. That foundation that every one of you also did in your various homes. In some places you did a raft foundation. I say maybe this place is a waterlogged area so that your house will not sink. In some places you do pad foundation. I'm sorry for the engineers that are here and those that are not engineers. In some places you have to do pile foundation. Majority of all these buildings in this refinery here, they are sitting on pile foundation. And all those bridges you see, they will be erecting a pillar. Until that pillar goes to go and hit a what? A rock. That is where it's going to stop. Then they start building all those structural elements you see that you call a bridge or flyover or whatever. The pillars you see under them, they are of 2 types, right? Suspended pile and frictional piles. They will go and look for a place that they will stop inside rock, inside water. So also that foundation, that Kaaba that you are seeing, that Baitul Atiq, that black house that all of us used to do tawaf around it, is sitting on 5 different foundations, 5 different materials that stand as a substructure. Because foundation is what we call substructure. Anything outside foundation is what we call superstructure. So the substructure of that Kaaba that you are seeing is made from 5 different rocks, including a rock, that mountain that Nabiuna Isa alayhi salam, Nabiuna Musa, Jabal Tur. The fragmented part of it was also used. And Lebanon. And one was picked from Syria. They were human beings that built it. Actually, the model was brought from Jannah. And it wasn't Nabiuna Ibrahim alayhi salamullah. He was the number 4th person that reconstructed Kaaba. Nabiuna Ibrahim. The one you are seeing now is the 12th design. So you shouldn't be telling Allah that because of Kaaba, answer my prayer. Kaaba is a block. After the foundation, all this kind of 9 inches, 6 inches that used to build your house is what they used to build that Kaaba. It's what they used to build the Masjid Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The structure of Masjid al-Aqsa in Jerusalem, where Nabi Sulaiman built with the jinns, it has been demolished, which I explained to us the time we were talking about Al-Isra'i wal-Mi'raj. It has been destroyed. So that structure that you are seeing now, that Masjid al-Aqsa that you are seeing now, is made from block. That wasn't the original structure of whom? Nabi Sulaiman. But the foundation was there. So you don't use structural elements or any other deity to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to what? To grant your wishes. That's what we are saying. If you are doing that, you are among the al-mu'tadis, those that have crossed the boundary limit of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I hope you understood. So, inside this, I want to quickly mention 7 points. Inside this number 7. Number 1 is for you to be telling Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to do for you what Allah did not do for the prophets. Can we be so special in sight of Allah than the prophet? So for you asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to do what he didn't do for the prophet, for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to do it for you, you are crossing your red line. Number 2, like you asking Allah to give you children. Allah will give you children. You are not telling Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that he should give you yellow children, he should not give you black children. And you and your wife, you are black. Even if they bring a yellow child or a white child from the hospital for you, won't you doubt the DNA? Both of you, your chromosome, they are not what? They cannot produce a white child. And you are not asking Allah, I want somebody that will be very handsome like today's. Are you an Arab? Every one of us now, we know we are different. Let's look at our hair. Me, I don't have a curly hair now. But people from Maiduguri, you see that all this shuara, and I say I want my hair to be like that. Me that I'm from one Kurumujeje village here. Is it possible? That is, you are talking in terms of our local level now. Then you are not jumping from here. You say you want your child to be like Biden. You want your child. Some people even spoil it. They want their child to be like the Prime Minister of Israel. Netanyahu Benjamin. So you saying that is out of the context. Oh, you are asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah, the child I want you to give me, I want his eye. Every time he will be alive, his eyeball should always be white. It should never be red. If somebody goes through stress, definitely your eyeball will turn red. Maybe after you take your shower, or you eat, you sleep, it will now change color again. I don't want my child to sick throughout the entire life. If you're going to spend 100 years, it should be healthy like that. Allah, all these, they are mu'tad. Allah will not listen to all this rubbish. I hope you are getting it. And so many things like that. Again, if you are supplicating, that you should be telling Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah, it's only me that you should bless. Don't bless any other person. Who are you? You are going out of the context. So all this, we should try as much as possible not to be doing all this. Number 3 is for you to be asking Allah to be supporting you on evil. Now, the Boko Harams, that they want to go into a particular village to go and kidnap people. Before they now step out, they now, Allah, this is our mission, let it be successful. Allah will not grant them. They might go and come back successfully. Doesn't mean that Allah answered their prayer. Allah is just pushing them to the day they are going to meet their Waterloo. You want to go and sleep with your neighbor's wife because your husband is not around. You are not praying, you are not supplicating. Allah, please, till I will do whatever I want to do, finish, don't let her husband to come back. All these kind of prayers, all these kind of supplication, they are mortal. Or itida, they are itida. You that you are doing it, you are the one that we call al-mu'tad. I hope you are getting it. So, all these supplications that you know that they are vague, you don't need to be wasting your time and be talking to Allah like that. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't have time to be listening to rubbish. So if you ask him to do that for you and he refuses doing it for you, it's because you have not asked the right, you have not made the right request from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I hope you are getting it. We can also be thinking in that fashion to know other types of what? Other type of supplication or request. That if we make it, we are making jest of ourselves, not jest of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because yukhadi'una Allah wallazina amanu wa ma yahda'una illa anfusahum wa ma yash'urun. You can't make jest of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you can only make jest of yourself. Number 4. To be telling Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, don't seize my soul now. I want you to take me to the last day of judgment. You don't want to die now. Even Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when Allah sent the angel of death to him, he asked him, he gave him 2 options. That, do you want to continue to be living or you want to die? Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam now return it back to Malakul Maut. That which one do you want me to do? He said that your Lord is the one that has sent me on an errand to you. And he knows what you need to do. So take the best. And Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, either this world will come to an end. If it is time, take my soul. So for you, because you are enjoying this life, you are giving birth to with a golden spoon, right? Everything is just rosy for you in your life. So you are not even thinking of dying anytime, soon or later. You are not telling Allah, Allah, don't let me die on the day of judgment. Which day is your own day of judgment that is different from that of Allah? So all these kind of supplication, they are what? They are itida. They are itida. We should not be doing all this. Number 5, out of this, number 7. For you to be telling Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to change your sex. Like one idiot here in Lagos State, which every one of us knows. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala designed him. Ma alakta aza batilan. Allah does not have time to be joking. Allah doesn't have time that is going to get wasted. Allah doesn't have time. So the best physique that will be good for me and you is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to us. This is the best design. And this is the best country that Allah knows that, oh, let me throw Saheed Olaosebikan to Nigeria. If I throw him to Ghana, if I throw him to America, maybe he's going to be an errand boy. that they will send you up and down. That if they eat finish, you should come and pack the plate. Maybe that is what you're going to do there. That is why majority that japa, or the ones that have gone before japa syndrome, majority will not be able to tell you up till now that this is the work they are doing there. And their life is better in Nigeria than where they are now. Fine, they might have security, they might have NHIS or whatever. But they are there. Number 1 person now become number 10 over there. Won't you continue to be supplicating for your own country? Nabi Ibrahim alayhi salamullah, he told Allah, Allahumma rabbi jal hadha baladan aminan warzuqhu lahu min as-samarat. That was the prayer Nabi Ibrahim did for where? For Mecca. Every one of you now, who doesn't want to go to Mecca for next month? By tomorrow now they will start the training for the Hujjaj. Who doesn't want to go to Mecca? Who doesn't want to go and do Hajj? It was somebody's supplication that Allah answered. Why can't we sit down and do the same supplication to our own country? That Allah should wipe away these Boko Harams. Allah should wipe away these bandits. Barayin Daji. Allah should clear them off. All these prostitutes that are walking naked up and down. All these lesbians, that Allah should wipe them off. Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did it. And Allah heed to his call. Allah granted him his wishes. Why is he not granting our own? Because na'anu minal mu'tadi. We are crossing our boundary limit. Allah perfected you. Allah gave you a very good name. Even his name was among the name of prophet. The prophet that did not die, that died, that entered Al-Jannah alive. The prophet that entered Al-Jannah alive. That is the person that this guy is bearing his name. Nabi Idris alayhi salamullah. He was the only one that entered Al-Jannah alive. After a lot of activities, he entered hellfire, right? He came out. They took him to Al-Jannah. Him and the Malaika that took him, they had issues. He entered. When it was time for him to go out, Idrisa, let's go. He said, where should he go? Where should he go? Was it not Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that created you? That created me, that said, Fi shatin radiya, fi jannatin aliyah, kutufuha daniya. Fi shatin radiya is ayah in SURUTU Waqiah. Fi shatin radiya, you will be there for life. As soon as you enter, you won't come out again. Fi jannatin aliyah, at the apex level of the Jannah. Kutufuha daniya, you have luxurious beds that you'll be sleeping on, water bed, electric bed, or whatever. And Qur'atu ayuni wa jannahum lil muttaqina imama. And beautiful, beautiful ladies. That was how him and that angel, I think Al-Malik, that was when they started having issues. They started fighting. Before Allah now sent a neutral angel to them to go and separate them. The angel now come. Now say, were you not friends in the 1 hour ago? He said, yes, we are friends. But now our friendship is turning to enmity. Shebi Allah said in the Quran that anybody that enters Jannah will never come out again. I've gone to the hellfire I saw. He has killed me and I came back to life. Now he brought me to Al-Jannah. I've already died, but now I'm alive. And he said whenever we enter Al-Jannah, nobody will come out. Who is he that you ask me to come out? I will never go out again. That was Nabiyuna Idrisa alayhi salamullah. This idiot is bearing the name of Nabiyuna Idrisa. Why can't you emulate from the life of Nabiyuna Ibrahim? Nabiyuna Idrisa. So for you to be asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to change your what? To change your sex, your physique, you are among the mu'tadin. That is number 5. Number 6, to be telling Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to not let you commit sin. Who are you? You must commit sin. Alladhina yajtanibuna kaba'ir al-ismi wal fawahisha illa al-lamama. Yajtanibuna kaba'ir al-ismi. The conscious ones, they will be doing what? They will be running away from the grievous sins. And what are the grievous sins? Committing adultery, committing murder, siphoning society money. It's a grievous sin. And you that you are not part of them, but they are using your account to transfer the money. All of you together, Allah will pack you together as a bunch and throw you to where you are going to belong on the day of Qiyamah. It's a grievous sin. But part of illa lamama, the lamama that is there, minor sin, that maybe you didn't pray on time. I'm not saying you should not pray on time. Maybe something took away your time, you slept off, maybe your boss that you can't stand in front of him, and you know if you stand, your source of income might be cut off. But inside you, you know it's time for Salah. And you can't tell your president that it's time I want to go. So within you, you can use your heart to do what? To pray while you are sitting. Like you are inside an aircraft now, it's time for Salah, if you know. I know any place for you to pray, even not inside the aircraft. You are traveling on the road, maybe the bus you join is an Igbo person that is driving it. That did not even want to carry you as a Muslim. I didn't even know that you are a Muslim and not even carry you. Can you get that kind of person to stop for you to observe your prayer? That is not Malam Ad-Duah or Malam Saheed from the north. That knows that anytime we are going anywhere we see a masjid, we have to do what? To stop and park and pray. Can Chinedu do that for you? He's not even interested in you entering his bus. If you say that, the next thing we tell you Boko Haram. So, brothers, we are going to be committing sin. I'm not asking us to be committing sin. Nobody should misconcept me. There's no how you want to do. Is there any way we want to walk on a straight alignment without our head shaking? Can anybody raise up his armpits now that will not smell? Can we put our hand in anybody's bum that it won't come out with an infinitesimal poo-poo? There is no how you wash that your bum after your poo-pooing. Some of them will still be in you. Now, do you know that you are now in a state of impurity? Because that poo-poo is in you. Then we are carrying the poo-poo to observe our salah. Because there is nobody that will chook our hand into his poo-poo now. Into the bum that won't touch poo-poo inside. That's why you wash it with one bucket of water. There are small that are still remaining inside. It is just your finger that did not get there. And you carry that to come and pray. And Allah, Nabi Muhammad said, Inna Allah ta'ala tayyibun, la yakbalu illa tayyiba. Go? But you have something that is not tayyib in you. So, what is the state of our salawat? So we are going to be committing sin, but look for the little one. Try to avoid it. If you now fall into the little one, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will now forgive you. Number 7 is for you to be asking Allah that you want Allah to give you children, but you don't want to marry. You can see, these are all the frivolities that people take to the side of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How do you want to have children? Even Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when some of his companions, because of their piety, because of their zuhudu, brothers, you know what we call zuhudu? To run away from materials of life. That's why you see righteous Malam of those yesterday. I can cite the example of them, Sheikh Abubakar Gumi, Sheikh Adam Abdullah Al-Ilori Nagege here, Sheikh Kamaluddin Al-Adabi, and some shuyukh of yesterday, not today, that they don't have work and they are building houses in Banana Island. And they don't have any investment. And they are riding Range Rovers. They don't have any investment. And they are living the most luxurious life among these so-called alphas. Ask them, where is their source of income? It's Ad-Duah, 419, stealing dead body, new children, disappearing from hospital. The water they used to bath a corpse. And they are bathing it, they have their own small calabash that they put under, that they are using to collect it. They have their hankies that they used to rub the body of the dead body. They want to use it to make rituals. And they will get it, but how will they end up? Some of you run to them now. That is why they know that we can do this. Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that those of you among my companions that you say you are not going to get married, are you more Catholic than the Pope? Are you more Islamic than me, Nabi Muhammad, that Allah gave the religion? Are you more Sunnatic than me, Muhammad, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave the religion? Inni abitu inda rabbi, me Muhammad. Some of them said they are not going to be sleeping. That we will be using all their entire life to be what? To be observing fast. Some of them said they will never copulate with their wife any longer. Some of them say, it is only one clothes that they will be wearing up and down. Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that wasn't what we call zuhudu. Zuhudu is to be ascetic now. To run away from every materials of the world. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you good money, go and buy a good house or build good house. If He give you money to buy the latest Range Rover of 2025, let them produce it for you and customize it and put Saheed Olaosebikan in front. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you a house, if you want to compete with the most expensive house, somebody just built 10 billion house but you didn't spend more than 3 months inside. If Allah give you that kind of money that you can, but before you build that kind of house, how many people have you influenced positively in your life? So I don't want anybody to misquote me that if you have plenty money, you want to build house. You must influence people's life positively before you can bring those kind of gigantic buildings. Because the maintenance alone will kill you. Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Inni abitu inda Rabbi." Me, I used to sleep, but I sleep. If my eyes are widely open like this, I'm already sleeping inside of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yuti'imuni, I used to eat. I eat in the morning, I eat in the afternoon, I eat at night if I'm not fasting. You that you say you will be using all your life to be fasting, who are you? Even me that you are following, am I not your mentor? Am I not your messenger? Am I not your prophet? I'm eating, I'm sleeping. We're skinny and wearing good clothes. Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There is one seerah in Olaosebikan Yakin that describe how Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They said he used to have a coily hair that uses cream to even use to rub his head. You brothers, that another person cannot stay beside you inside masjid. Where did you see your dirtiness from? You use a shiwak, magogi, baki. Everything will litter around your mouth, include your mustache, include your gemu. Where do you see that from? That's not zudu, that's stupidity. You'll be wearing one cloth for 1 year. You'll be smelling inside masjid. Nobody wants to stay beside you. And Imam is telling you, Sofu sufu fakum. Fa'inna sufufa min tamami salat. But nobody wants to put his leg beside you because you are smelling. And you are saying you are doing zudu. That is stupidity. That is not zudu. And that is not Islam. Quran told us, Huzuru sinnatakum inda kulli majlis. Wear good clothes. On Friday like this, we should wear good clothes. This is our own. Eid al-Fitr has gone. Eid al-Adha has gone. Our weekly Eid is our Salatu, is our Yomu Jumu'ah. Some will now wear clothes as if something is wrong to them psychologically. Don't you see the Christians on Sundays, including the embryo inside the woman's pregnancy, they will wear new clothes for the person. Even if they will go to church and go and sing and dance alone without any spiritual development. They will dress well. If their house is burning on fire, they will go to that church and dress nicely. Where do we see you Muslims? You become filthy in the masjid. And you want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept your religion. Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has perfume. Inna Allah ta'ala tayyibun la yakbalu illa tayyiba. Everybody should dress neat. Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, I used to wear good clothes. The clothes might not be maybe 200 or 100 naira, but you wash it, you clean it. They iron it. You see some people jalamia, everything is folded. Even their little side, the trouser that not get down, everything that's supposed to be above the ankle, the trouser has folded up because they didn't iron it. It has folded up to the knee. Is that religion? Is that Islam? Who taught you like that? Go and read Olaosebikan Yakin. And if you don't know how to read it, go and meet Malan, they should read it for you, part 1, part 2, part 3. It will tell you how Nabi Muhammad is, how his face look like, his beard, his clothes, everything. Ana ta wari a masallaci, addini ne wannan? Ba wanda yana so ya zona da kai a cikin masallaci, kana ce kai kana wani zudu. Zaka yi zudu da yafi na manzo Allah ne? Baka so abubuwan rayuwa, abubuwan duniya ya dame ka. Shine an ce wai ka diga kwanta a karkashin gada? Shine an ce ka ci abinci mai kyau, kana cin tuwo da miyan taushe for like shekara 100, wai baka so ka ci kaza, baka so domin ana jiran ka aljanna. Wai kiya maka ce zaka shiga aljanna? An gama Firauna ma Karuna, wala tansa nasibaka min ad-dunya wa asin kama asana Allah ilaik. Abunda Allah ya ba mu nan rayuwar duniya, mu ɗebe su amma da tsoro Allah. Kar mu manta da abunda Allah ya kaddara mana. wala tansa nasibaka anasiya kaka manta nasibaka rabonka mina duniya anan duniya Allah ya ba mu kudi mu ci abinci mai kyau mu sa tufafi mai kyau mu je aji mu je umra mu taimaka ma iyalanmu mu zo na gida in kana ina da gida ina da kudi yanzu in dai gurin fili da yana kusa da Aliko Dangote ne zan je siya gina gidana shi ma haife shi yanda aka haife ni ne amma ranar da ana rubuta kadaransa ba na guri domin da ina guri ne maybe da na rike hannu Allah ce a'a ne ka ba so Allah bai kira kowa ba ya ce to ina so rubuta kadaran Sa'idu ina so rubuta kadaran Zaradi lokacin da Allah yana rubuta kadaran kowa bai kira kowa ba kuma su malaika da suna kusa da shi Allah bai kira su ba. That is why we have Kitab and muna da Lauhil Mahfuzi. Lauhil Mahfuzi su malaiku they have access to it. That is where whenever Allah is writing, that is when the jinns, that is when they used to know to go and eavesdrop. Lauhil Mahfuzi kenan. In ana rubuta abu a cikin in alkalami yana rubuta a cikin Lauhil Mahfuzi. Shine su aljanni suke ji in su malaiku suna maganar tsakanin su. Amma kitabi babban littafi su aljannu su malaiku ba wanda ya san abin da Allah yana yi da shi. Yana annu Allah ya sa shi a cikin kirjinsa. Manzo Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam domin mu kammala yake wai ina sa tufafi mai kyau kowa ya sa tufafi ranar juma'a mai kyau ai ta daina wariya masallaci yutiyimuni wa yaskini wa isamaritu fa huwa yashfini in nayi rashin lafiya Allah ne yana warkar da ni to mu yanzu an ba mu asibiti mun ce wai domin manzo Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam ya ce wai Allah ne yana warkar da shi kai ba za ka je asibiti ba matanka za ta haihu ka ce baka so kowa ya ga gabanta ko in ta mutu ka kashe mutum. Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, I used to stay with Allah, I sleep with him, I wear good clothes, I eat good food, I drink good water, I do all this. You that you are saying you are not going to eat, who are you? Are you more godly than me? You that you say you won't wear good clothes, who are you? You that you say you won't copulate with your wife, who are you? And there is no celibacy in Islam. All these majority of these N-U-N, these non-sisters, majority of them one double silver. Majority of these non-sisters, all these people doing sisterhood. Su ya matan Christianity din nan ko da suna cewa ba za su yi aure ba. Mafi yawancin su ba sun san da suke hadu da mazajen su ba. Majority of the father, they have removed their priesthood. Because it's a sha'awatul insaniyya. Shawa na jiki ne, Allah ya riga ya sa jikinmu. Shawa, in gabanka ta tashi dole ka je ka nemi matanka. Abun da yasa aka ce wai you have a limited time that you should be away from your wife. Dukanmu da muna ta aiki mun bari iyalanmu shekara 1 shekara 2 ya za mu yi gaban Allah. Domin lokacin da tana neman ka. Ina kake so ta je? Majnunul layli, mahaukacin dare ya tashi. Ya kake so ta biya bukatanta? Allah kai ne san yadda zai yi da mu. A yanda muna ce muna neman abinci shekara 1 shekara 2 shekara 3 shekara 4 ba mu je gida ba. Su mafi yawanci ma su ne suka tura matayen su waje. To Allah ya samu gama lafiya. To Nabi Muhammad ya ce masu ya ce wai if you said you are not going to copulate with your wife, how did I have 7 children? He told the companions that you should stop all these shenanigans that you are doing. Go and meet your wife. Abu Darda used to be the friend of Salman al-Farisi. Abu Darda, he was the one that Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam paired with Salman al-Farisi. One very day, Salman al-Farisi went to Abu Darda's house. On getting there, he saw his wife looking very tattered. Dalla, yawwa, kowa ya kiyaye da iyalinsa. In kai ba za ka sa tufafi mai kyau ba, ka bar su sa mai kyau. A ce kana aiki amma na ganci a jikin iyalinka. Amma kai duk kudinka kana ta zuwa guri mai shayi, mai tsire, kana cin kwai guda 7. Kana cin kan rakumi, kana cin duka fatan kai, ba za ka gama lafiya ba. duk namiji da yana aiki ba ga albarkacin aikinsa a jikin matansa ba, shi ba namijin kwarai ba ne. Any one of you as husband, as father, you are working and they didn't see the benefit of your work in the body of your wife and on your children, Allah has not really blessed the work you are doing. That they are doing ceremony in your family, in your wife, in your in-laws' house. Even you know the way your wife is looking, because she's looking very haggard, like a sickler. You can't allow her to go because you know they will punish you, they will curse you. Is this how we give Zuhaira to you? Is this how we give Amina to you? But you are looking fatter, be there. You are looking fatter every day because you are enjoying yourself. You can eat a crate, like say Joe. You can eat a crate of egg. Aguri me shayi. Kai kana cin dadi kuma ka manta da iyalinka. Kuma ana ci ana biki a gidansu kina koyin law. A gidansu surukanka. Kai ma kai zaka ji kunya ce matarka ta je domin ta yi kaman ta yi muni. Ta yi muni. Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam ya ce mu yi kokari mu kusance iyalinmu domin ni da kaina ma ina kusance su iyalina, in ban kusance su ba ya zan samu Abdullahi, Ibrahim, cousin, Fatima, Kulzum, Zainabu and Rukayya, the seven of them. Ya zan sa, and you are now asking Allah, ina son samu yara ma bana so yi aure. Da Allah zai yi wa? To in wannan addu'a Allah bai zai karba ba. Muna magana kan dokoki da dole sai mun bi su kafin Allah ya karbi addu'ar mu. Wansu za su ce wai Allah yanda ka alice ni namiji haka ba na so ka mai da ni namiji. Da Allah zai yi? Allah yanda ka bani fata baki haka ina so a diga gani kaman bature. Ake duba bature ne zai shiga aljanna ne? Annabi Adama alayhi salamullah bakin mutum ne. Annabi na farko bakin mutum ne. To mu Isa Kaba baki ne. To mu Isa in kuma mu yi kokari sosai za mu shiga aljanna kafin mutane farare nan. Allah ya samu gama lafiya. Kai ina son gama maganar nan yau. Allah ya samu gama lafiya. Inna Allaha wa malaikatahu yusalluna 'alan nabi ya ayyuhallazina amanu sallu alaihi wa sallimu taslima. Sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. So, Natakos, number 8, among the extravagant dua that we used to do, that some people used to do, is to be calling Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah, give me my own, before what you have in abundance you get finished. Mutu ya kira Allah, ce Allah, kai mu nawa yanzu kafin ya kare. Alheri Allah zai kare ne? Dubi turanan da muna ta yanka rakumi, turanan da muna ta yanka saniya, turan lokacin da muna ya kare arewa ne? Za ku gani kana tafiya daga nan zuwa Ibadan, za ka samu kamar dubbai tirololi da suna kawo tumaku, suna kawo hawaki. Ko sun kare arewa ne? To, namu kenan. Yana Allah zai kare. Duk wanda yana yin wannan addu'a wawa ne. Allah ba ni nawa yanzu, Allah give me my own, no, before I finish. Inna rahmatallahi wasi'a. Na takwas kenan. Na tara, mutu ya ta kira Allah kuma ya ta kira wani gumaku. Ko ya daina kira Allah ya ta kira gumaku. Duk abun da yana gaya ma gumaku din nan Allah bai zai ansa ba. The ninth one, among the extravagant dua, among the extravagant supplication that some used to do, is calling on to another deity other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I keep telling us, there are some of us that we are calling this to you, and you are indirectly worshiping them, not knowing. Some people, if anything fall down in their hand like this, it is their sheikh that they will call. If they want to go out, if their sheikh has not told them that don't travel on Saturday, they will not go. you are already associating partnership with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if you call on to Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not answer your prayer. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us of our shortcomings. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us our heart desires. Wala hawla wala quwwata illa billah. So the 9 points that are the conditions that need to be met before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will answer our dua. I've mentioned every one of them. So biqudratullah ta'ala, by next week, if we are still alive, we are going to continue from there. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the opportunity to be alive. And we should continue to be doing the right thing. Wala hawla wala quwwata illa billah. Unfortunately, we didn't start on time. We started after 1. And my intention was to talk about this incident that is happening in Israel, people of Gaza, and what recently happened with the Iranian people. Unfortunately, time is far spent. Because since October, we've been discussing about this Banu Israel. We dropped it as at the time we are approaching Ramadan. And I have a lot of things that I want to talk about. We started their history of this Banu Israel as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us, from Nabiina Musa alayhi salamullah, till how these people got to Palestine that they are today. We brought the instances, the verses from Quran, not even from Hadith. How they settled in Palestine today. How Nabiina Musa asked them to come and follow him into Palestine, and they say, Inna fiya qawman jabbarin. Wa inna lan nadkhulaha hatta nakhruju fiha. They told Musa, this one is a verse of Quran, not Hadith, that we are not going to follow you. Because there are powerful people that are residing on that land of Palestine. Who were the what? The powerful people that were there yesterday. They were the Arabs. And the Arabs that were powerful today, whom do a foul of today? The powerful people of yesterday, today, they are nowhere to be found because they have aligned themselves with the Western people. All this punishment that you see some of our brothers are passing through in the Arabian land is because of their alliance, because of security, because of IMF loan, because of all this and that. So we started the discussion from 1900, even before the Great War. The Great War is what they call World War I. We started discussing it till 1956 between the David Ben-Gurion, the first person that declared the state of independence in 1948. And I've discussed about the 3 secrets of the United Kingdom with their other allies, like with the French and the Russia. 3 agreements that they held. We discussed it. The one they did with Hussein ibn Ali, the Sharif of Makkah, that I told us was the 40th grandchild of Nabiina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the ancestor of the great ancestor of the present king of Jordan. The alliance, the agreement they had with him, that if you can help us to fight the Arabs, we are going to give you the Khalifa of the Arabian Peninsula. I've discussed it with us here. Not knowing, the idiot, not knowing that they are having another agreement, which they call Sykes-Picot. That was the second agreement. The Sykes is a British man. The Picot is a French man. So the agreement was a secret agreement that they used to distribute the Arabian land. To distribute what? The Arabian lands. They were there. They sought for the support. And the agreement was that nobody will tamper with what? With the Palestinian land. That the Palestinian land is going to be an isolated island. That nobody will touch it. That was the agreement in that what? In that Sykes-Picot agreement in 1916. We've discussed all this. After some time, they held another agreement secretly. That the people that was in the first agreement, the second agreement, were not aware of. That is why they called the declaration of Balfour Declaration. That was in the first week of November 1917. How they have been humiliating the occupants of that particular land. We have discussed all this. Now, the genesis of how they started killing people in Lebanon. How the 6-day war, how they went to Golan Heights in Syria. The number of people they massacred, that was where we stopped. To see the injustice these people are doing to the legal owner of that land. But alhamdulillah, no more time today. Allah spare us to another time. Because I keep telling us, history, it will guide you. History will allow you to know where to step on. How the Zionists, how they came on board, all this, we need to know. So that we know maybe what this Benjamin Netanyahu and all their allies are doing for the illegal occupant of that place. We can know. If we are to forge our own brothers that have been persecuted, that have undergone massacre, that have undergone homicide, we will know. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us. Inna Allah ya'murukum bil adli wal ihsan wa ita'i zil qurba wa yanha 'anil fahsha'i wal munkar wal baghi ya'izukum la'allakum tadhakkarun. Allah is asking every one of us to do good, which we know. Ya'murukum bil adli, be just. Wal ihsan, do good. Wa ita'i zil qurba, your family, don't joke with them. Help them, those that need your help. And it is when you are in service that you can help and do good. You see somebody that they have declared him wanted now, a governor, that they have declared him wanted, an ex-governor. See the kind of life they lived within the 8 years, as if they were untouchable. Small boys are the ones that are carrying gun up and down. They have withdrew, according to what we read, the IGP has withdrew all the police around him now. Because they wanted to catch him day before yesterday, the sitting governor. They can't go anywhere. They are still residing in government house. The wife even wanted her younger sister to marry the present governor because they said the present governor's wife is not outspoken, she can't speak English. They just want to hold on to the power. And inna lillahi al-quwwa. See, the honor they have gotten for 8 years, the mess they have started passing through since day before yesterday is more than the honor. Wakulu izza lillah, wakulu quwwa lillah. Every one of you, every one of us, including me that I'm talking, don't let's misuse any opportunity Allah gives us. Don't let's misuse it. We are going to account for it. Inna lillahi al-quwwa. The power belongs to Allah. Every sovereignty belongs to Allah. Who are you and what are you? Without you, they can't do it. It's because Allah still keep you alive. You will be there. Look at all our past presidents that have not died now. Who is inviting them to any function? And they are the one that they will be coming like 1 month. They will have sent advanced team. They will have dispatched people. Go and be monitored. The DSS, they won't wear clothes. Some of them might be with us here. We don't even know them. You want to know, maybe you talk about president so that they will pick you and throw you to the lagoon for security consciousness. Who is securing them now? Because all what they are benefiting is no more there. So any opportunity you have, don't misuse it. Because tomorrow you might be alive, and to even seek for help there, you might be denied. Let every one of us remember our family. Why it is in Kurba, remember your family. Today, if you have any opportunity, even if it is civil defense, even if it is allogene work, that you know that you can help somebody in your family, tell him, collect the CV. At the end of the day, if they didn't choose him, you have done your part. But you don't want them to know that you are in Dangote refinery. Are you the first son or the daughter of the owner of the refinery? You that don't have 200,000 in account and you are boasting as if you have 100 million. People lose, you see. You let people know your level. There are some people, right now, one kaba or a chibi. You don't hide the finger. Let them know that you are a salary earner. Some people have attained the level of yai kyau kare ake ne. Mu at our own level now. Muna roki Allah sai kara mana kyau ne. Su aliko yanzu they are that level. Kar Allah sai kar Allah mai da su baya ne. Amma mu muna ce Allah kara mana Allah wanda kai mana kare ake. Wasu a cikin rayuwar mu sun wuce wannan. It's a lie. If they cross it, except they go against Allah, they will now give history that yesterday we were rich. And if they didn't cross that red line, Allah, they will use it continuously and their generation will inherit it. Let every one of us be humble. Power, money, everything, let us be humble. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us. Please, there is one of our father here that we used to observe Salah together. He's presently with us here too. He ran to me yesterday morning. His daughter is in a serious pain. They need medical assistance. So he wants us lillahi wa rasuli. Specifically, he told me that I should please help him announce in masjid. And in our own place of work, we started doing small something. So I'm crying to you people too. I hardly do this. Because you will know the one that is truth and the one that is lie. But I know this person is working with us. So lillahi wa rasuli, after our salat, whatever we have, a brother might be going around, please, or you just drop it on the floor like this, whatever we are able to get, we give it to him as a support. This is the kuwa, and this is going to be the hoop, the love that we need to share within ourselves. If anybody wants to fall within the Muslim, we should raise him. So let's help him. Lillahi wa rasuli. When you do this, maybe there's a calamity that's supposed to befall you before the end of the day. Allah will use this your sadaqah to block it for you and block your wife and block your children from any evil. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect every one of us, continue to give us good health, and continue to widen our source of income in a lawful way, and continue to protect every one of us. Wala hawla wala quwwata illa billahi al-aliyyil azim. Allahumma izz al-islam wal muslimin wa zilla shirka wal mushrikin wa damir adaka a'da ad-din wansur ibadaka al-muwahhidin bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallim. Wala hawla wala quwwata illa billah. Qumu ila salatikum ya